Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers. In our first story, who would have thought that you could be shouted at for donating too much to a charity? Let's jump right in. My uncle had a considerable collection of books on a variety of topics. The majority of his books were about things like tanks, fighter planes, trains, and automobiles. After he passed away, we needed to dispose of his collection. We did keep a few of the books, but even after we had taken the ones we wanted to keep, there must have been at least 100 books left. The collection was made up of hardcover books that were in pristine condition. These were the type of books that you know cost a decent amount of money. My uncle would only read them once, but I think that he really just enjoyed collecting them. I didn't want to just throw out my uncle's collection, so once we had boxed up about 8 boxes worth, we drove them down to a large local charity shop. When my wife and I got to the charity shop, we each grabbed a box and walked into the shop. We went up to the counter saying that we wanted to make a donation to the shop. Instead of being greeted warmly by the older guy at the counter, he rolled his eyes and sarcastically said, "Great, more books. We've got so many of them. I hope that is all you have." Then he walked off. We dropped the 2 boxes down on the counter. Surprised by his attitude, we talked to one of the ladies that worked there saying, "We've got about half a dozen more boxes of books with us. Do you actually want them?" She responds, "Maybe a couple more." So we went back to our car and grabbed 2 more boxes of books. As we walked back into the store, the older guy shouts at us, "I thought I was clear that we have too many books." We were like, "That lady said it was okay to donate another couple of boxes." He didn't respond and just stormed off again. As we were leaving, I was pretty angry for being shouted at while trying to donate stuff to a charity. I went back home and actually ended up boxing up another couple of boxes. Then we drove to a little charity shop that is across the road from the original one. Gun-shy from our welcome at the first charity shop, I walked in and spoke to the assistant first, saying, "We've got books we are looking to donate. Would that be okay?" She was like, "Of course it's okay. We've got quite a few boxes. How many of them will you accept?" She looked at me with a confused look and said, "We'll take all of them. Why would anyone refuse good quality book donations?" I laughed and I told her what had just happened to me. She was shocked and said, "You were shouted at for trying to donate too much stuff to charity?" I was really glad that she was as confused about the charity shop's attitude as we were. She was really appreciative for the donation, which made us feel better about the whole debacle. In story number 2, a choosing beggar won't pay the extra 50-cent fee for a concert ticket. Later, she is going to wish that she had just paid up. So this happened a few years back. I was working at a record store that also sold local concert tickets. We sold both small local shows as well as being an outlet for a major ticket seller, like a mini Ticketmaster for this area of the country. We were selling tickets through this large ticket vendor for a lecture by Jane Goodall, the primatologist. An elderly lady comes in to purchase a ticket and I ring her up. Her total was $5.50. Super cheap tickets because it was being sponsored by the local college. She flips out and says, "It says $5 for seniors in the paper." I apologize, explained that the 50 cents is a service fee added by the company, not us at the record store, and that it helped cover things like having this printing machine in our store. And we did get like 15 cents per transaction, but that was still not added by us, it was just part of the contract. She refuses, says she's a senior and will only pay the advertised price. I try again to explain that I can't change the price in the computer, it's just not an option. We're just an outlet. They don't let outlets change the prices on their major concert tickets for people who complain. She starts yelling that I'm trying to steal from the elderly. I continue trying to explain calmly and rationally, but she is not having it. Then I remember if you drive up to the campus, you can get tickets at the box office of the venue for no service charge. I tell her this, and warn her to call ahead since they have strange hours and may not be open midday if there is nothing happening at the venue that day. It is why outlets like us exist in town. She storms off, swearing loudly about how we were trying to rip her off. Well, an hour later, she comes back and announces very loudly as she walks through the door, "Well, congratulations, they were closed. I guess you get to steal 50 cents from an old lady." Oh boy. Now here's the fun part. In that hour, the show sold out. I had to politely tell her there were no more tickets anywhere. She'd spent an hour driving around in an effort to save half a dollar and ended up missing out completely. In story 3, Christmas is coming. Let loose the fundraisers, but you had better do it exactly as we want you to, even if that isn't how your business operates. Hi all, I own a small business in which I handcraft items. I had an organization come to me and ask me if I'd be willing to team up with them for a Christmas fundraiser, as they've had a hard time bringing in extra money this year. The agreement we came to was that I would make one of my best sellers in a fabric exclusive to them, and they would get a portion of the sales. I also made sure they knew that I don't and never have done personalization. I do not have an embroidery machine, the iron-on letters often come off in the wash, and the sew-on ones are not cost-effective. Cut to last night. We're almost ready for the sale to go live. We just need to know the size of the letters and the limit of letters per item. What letters? The letters to add names to the items. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, but we've already discussed this. I have no way of doing personalizations and never have. However, I can suggest an Etsy shop that allows you to personalize a patch in any color or font you want. The patch is about the same cost as an embroidered personalization would run. The customer would need to order the patch themselves so they could personalize it however they wanted and have it sent to me. I would send them a picture when I got it to make sure it's right and add it to their item at no cost. That's not going to work. We want the items to be personalized as something special you would do just for us. We've already told people you would be doing so we just need the letter size and limit. Thanks. I cannot do personalization. It is not a possibility, as I do not have the right equipment. We discussed this prior. I'm sorry, but the answer is no. Also, you've hit me in the middle of my busiest time of year, and I simply do not have time to take on the extra work of personalizations. I'm still excited to sell the unpersonalized items, as I normally sell them, to make money for your organization. We don't want them if you're not willing to personalize them. Just to clarify, I'm willing to make items for you to earn your organization money with no extra work on your part, but you don't want to do that if I will not personalize them, which is something I can't do. Yes, so what are you going to do for us? We want these personalized. There isn't anything I can do. I hope you find someone else who suits your needs. You can't just leave us high and dry. We need you to personalize these. What if we find someone who can personalize them and you take the items to them and pay them to do them? You can charge enough to cover their costs. No, thank you. Have a good night. I ended the conversation at that point. That would be a nightmare at tax time. Not to mention I'm smack dab into my busy season, backed up on orders, and don't have time to run the items to someone every time I get an order for an item I'll make $8 off of. Suddenly, I think I understand why they're having so much trouble doing fundraisers. I would have been more polite, but the attitude of the coordinator was truly astounding. I'm willing to give up some of my profits, and you're choosing how I make items and begging me to do them differently. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.